ones to blame. We were tired of playing games, no wonder. I know we had our ups and downs, always thought we got around stronger.
So I'm out here with the William Collins survival knife, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. I did some chopping with it, did some feathering with it. As you can see here, I got some, you know, it's still, even the feathering that I've done so far and the chopping of a few branches here, this thing, it just seems to stay sharp. And that's that 01 tool steel that he uses for this, that it just doesn't want to dull. It's a working tool steel, and that's why he uses it. It's no fancy steel or nothing like that, but honestly, like he says, William Collins, it's all about how you heat treat it, and the way he heat treats this knife, it's the ultimate survival blade, really. So we're out here in the woods and we're just playing around with it, and one thing I'm noticing is actually how easy this thing just wants to chop right through wood, and it's just an amazing tool to have. It really is the ultimate survival tool. So in a survival situation, because this is a survival knife, if this is all you had and you didn't have an axe and you needed to cut up some wood, that's basically what our goal is here, to see if we can get through a piece of wood and make a campfire or whatever, make some wood smaller, which it seems to be doing a hell of a job. Safe to say that it's pretty badass. And let me tell you something else. This thing here, it's still a fucking razor blade. It didn't even bother. smaller stick here. Just gets rid of the loose ends on it. Very good at stripping bark off. It's just, this thing is, you can slam this thing into a tree and bend it every which way. You ain't gonna break this tip, and you're not gonna dull it neither. It's just an absolute beast. This knife will go through concrete. It'll go through a car door if you wanted to. That's why it's the ultimate survival knife. And when you have it set up with the sheath, like I have, and I have it back here on my back like this, and it just makes it real easy. You know, you're hiking through the woods. Maybe you have a harbor sack on or some kind of a backpack, and you just pull it right out, and you have it set to where you can see where you're throwing it back into the sheath, and it makes it real easy to get to. So let's talk a little bit about the sheath system. So as you can see, this knife sheath system here, this is by Stitched Gear Leatherworks, and this is also handmade. It's just, you're really not going to find a better setup than this in my opinion. I mean, it's just fucking awesome. William Collins, the knife itself is handmade, 01 tool steel. It's got all these different angles, which makes it good for feathering. It makes it good for filleting, chopping, cooking, like anything you want it to be. That's the point of this knife. Woods, combat, survival, kitchen. You know, whoa, mosquito. Chops up mosquitoes good too. But anyway, the sheath itself is it's just a piece of artwork. I mean, the leather is going to patina over time. You know, it's all just really beautifully done. You can put it, have it like this or have it like this. I prefer it, like I said, on my back like this. You just got to be really careful pulling it out. You have to make sure you're able to slide the sheath over so you're not, you know, stabbing yourself in the side or whatever. It's got this Kydex top here, which makes it have a lot of good retention when it goes in. After a while, it seems to break in nicely around the handle, and it's just a really nice setup, and I'm enjoying it. The handles, Marcata scales. I feel like maybe a little bit of hot spot right back in here a little bit when I'm chopping, I guess. You know, it's not too bad though. I mean, I felt worse. I don't think it's a big deal. In a survival situation, you know, I guess you're gonna deal with it. In a camp situation, you're probably gonna have an axe or something. But like I said, a survival situation, this is that knife that's just gonna do it all, and that's why I have it. Am I gonna bring it to the campsite? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is the ultimate camp knife. It's still a razor blade even after all that chopping I did, and it just refuses to get dull. And that's, like I said, the way he treats it. You can get this sheath with a fire steel on it attached to it and all this other stuff. I choose not to do that. I just wanted the leather sheath. I don't want all these things on it. But up here, it's a nice sharp enough edge where you can get a good strike with a ferrocerium rod. So you're good to go with that. It's got the leather lanyard for a little bit more grip if you want to, you know, get some chopping power with it. And just the weight of it and just the way it's balanced or whatever, it just has a tremendous amount of force going into this part of the blade here, which is just when you hit a piece of wood, and you should see it in the video, it just digs straight in. So we're gonna do that one more time with this piece I have here, and just to really see, you know, try to get close in on it, and just to really see how powerful that edge is. And this Tonto style blade at the tip here, it's, you know, I stabbed that tree a number amount of times and it just will not go dull. And if you're gonna feather out some bark and trees to make some fire tinder, you know, this edge right here is good for that. It's just an awesome knife, awesome knife. So also on the back of it, on the back here, you have a really nice, you could crack nuts with this thing. You can dig out, take off the lanyard and dig a nice little crevice out for a bowl or whatever if you want to make a bowl. It's got a bow drill divot if you want to use a bow drill divot to make a fire. Not the way I would do it, but if it's there, if you need it. There's just a tons of different ways you can use this knife, and like I said, it's most knives you'll do a little bit of amount of chopping with that I've used, and they just get dull quickly, and you end up sharpening them. With this one, it's just, I don't know, it's a working tool edge. It's not cleaned up to where it's, you know, you can see the grind marks all still in it. So that's not an edge you're gonna really have to worry about dulling out quickly, because it's a working edge. You know what I mean? That's why it's not that you can still see all the imperfections in the steel. It's because this knife is handmade, and that you know, there's a tremendous amount of value that goes into something that's handmade like that. Not through a CNC machine. It's not perfect. It's a real working knife. So you got a little bit of, you can really dial in on this tip and carve and get in close to things if you want to. So yeah, it's just, to me, it's just the ultimate knife, and this review is long overdue, but we're out here, you know what I mean, having a good time. It's really hot, to be honest with you, but you know, we're out here doing it. I feel like there's wild boar out here or some shit. Dude, I just realized for the last 2 hours I've been filming on a giant hornet's nest. That's a big fucking hornet. He's huge. He is fucking huge, and I pissed him off. This whole area is sacred hornet's nest. I mean, holy shit, it's time to go. You can see all the holes. They're crawling out of the holes. I'm over here banging my fucking knife around like a jackass. You see that hole in the ground? Right there? That's a fucking hornet's nest. This whole thing. So, yeah, it's time to go. Yep, time to go.